Welcome to the New Hype Man Show Live with your host and professional crappie angler, Mr. Zeke Anderson. Hey, we're talking all things crappie, including tournaments, baits, electronics, tips, tricks, and more. The Hype Man Show Live is brought to you by none other than the Bass Tank. And now, here's the Hype Man himself, Mr. Zeke Anderson.
You see Dylan? All right, guys, we're back. I think we got some kinks worked out. All right, we got a special guest today, my tournament partner, Dylan Hackler. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, there's my guy right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Great to have you on the show, brother.
Oh, man. What was happening, man?
No audio.
Can't
hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can't hear you. That's a problem.
That's
Lots of technical difficulties today.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Corey Carter? Jesse Goodman? Yellow. I can't because then it's in my ear. There he is. Okay, so Dylan, everyone else can hear you. I just can't. Hold on, let me do something. All right, see if I can hear you now.
How about now?
Yep, I got you. All right.
Come on.
We're in business. I am using my webcam for my computer, so you can't see the goodness I put on the table.
Oh, you betcha.
What's going on? What do you got going on behind you, dude? You got an elk up there, some deer?
Just animals. Yeah, just animals, you know. They jump through the wall. Yeah, they jump through the wall.
They jump through the wall?
Yeah.
What's up, Shane Fields?
What's up, dude? You working?
Man, you know, I'm always working. Even when we're on the water, I'm working.
Even when we're on the water, that's right. That's right.
We got, hey, what's up, Jeff Large? We got the champ watching. Matt Wareham. Brad Buckaloo, what's going on, buddy? Corey Carter, thanks for all your help getting this figured out. Thank you guys for bearing with us. Jesse Goodman, what's going on? So a lot of y'all know me and Dylan are tournament partners. We had a pretty good year. Sorry, Nick, we'll get the YouTube part figured out for next week. Oh, it is on now? It's on YouTube? All right, you can watch on YouTube now. But yeah, we just wanted to get on here. I wanted to talk with Dylan a little bit about our season this year and kind of dive into, the Red River. We were down there. We had a pretty good tournament. And also talk a little bit about the rig that we run, Dylan's boat. We use Dylan's Skeeter during the tournament season. We'll go through kind of the setup that we have and what's been working for us. So anyway, how'd this season start out for us, Dylan? We went to our nemesis, Lake Darbone.
The Louisiana boys, Darbone. That lake ain't treated us right, man. I've been there 4 times now, and I've never been never done real well at that lake.
If it was a 1-day tournament, we'd be doing pretty good.
Yeah. Give me a 1 day on it, but that's not how it works. You know, they throw in them 2 days and it gets us for sure. No, that's a tough lake, man. I've heard that them fish are kind of adapted to like running from boats now since Live Scope came out, and clearly that happens whenever you have to toss to them out to 40 foot just to get a reaction. You get any closer than that and they go Phelps on you.
Super Phelpsy fish. Shout out to Jerry Graham. Those fish really Phelpsy, man. They go crazy. They take off. But what's funny is there's 139 boats to that tournament, right? We were sitting in 10th after day one. We were pretty happy with where we were day one. We had a bad day two, dropped all the way to 27th to finish the tournament. 24th. This is the first tournament under our belt.
Yeah, the first tournament. Yeah,
the first tournament, and then dropped to 24th. Couldn't put it together on day two, and that happens. I mean, multi-day tournaments are, yeah, Jerry, super Phelpsy. Jerry just commented. Multi-day tournament fishing is tough because you try to plan it out where you've got fish for day one, day two, and even day three at certain tournaments. Now, Dylan and I, a lot of y'all know, we kind of go out there and wing it.
Show up the day before. I mean, but hey, it works out sometimes, you know. I mean, it's hard to get off work. It's hard to, keep an income rolling whenever you got to stay home at work. Some of these guys are getting out there a week, and that's awesome. I wish I was there with you because I enjoy practicing. I really do. But, I mean, that's the funnest part for me, to be honest with you, because I'm stressed out trying to make stuff happen during the tournament days. And, you don't have to make it happen. And it seems you catch good fish during practice. And I think it's because everyone's relaxed. There's no pressure. And it just kind of falls into place. And that kind of, when we went to Grenada, I wasn't expecting anything because we showed up. We got to fish for about 3 hours practice. And I was not expecting anything. I was just there because it's the land of the giants. And to be honest with you, I just wanted to catch 3-pounders. And I mean, we went on a rampage. I've said it over and over. I wasn't expecting much. We didn't have time to pre-fish. I just wanted to fish that lake. And it just so happens we were relaxed and just went fishing.
That's it, man. I mean, we went out there last minute. It wasn't on our schedule this year. We didn't plan on fishing it. But the way that lake was fishing, we wanted to be there to see, world record setting bags come across the scale, which is exactly what happened. I mean, we got lucky. We landed on good fish and figured out how to get them to bite. That problem, Grenada, man, the problem that we had there was the hook set, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So what adjustment did we end up making to get that hook set?
I started swinging my rod like a baseball bat sideways.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to dig it off in their mouth, even though they call them paper mouths. I mean, these fish got bass mouths on them. I mean, Billy the bass mouse. I mean, they're that big.
And that bone in the top of the roof of their mouth, I mean, those 3 to 3.5 pound fish, for whatever reason, we were having problems getting the hook embedded. I mean, we rolled 4 fish in a row on day 2 to start out.
Oh, yeah.
4 giants to the surface and came unbuttoned. So, for whatever reason, but Dylan started jacking his rod sideways like a baseball bat instead of straight up, and it increased our catch rate. It was, I mean, if it would have been on film, people would have been laughing at us.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely would have been making fun of us for that.
Laughing, for sure.
But yeah, Grenada was our second tournament, I think. Grenada.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Ended up winning that one, setting a record there with 42.84, 307 average. That was a lot of fun. It was a blast to be there.
42.84. That's crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. People ask me about it all the time, and they're like, that really happened. And I'm like, it happened. And like, I take people guiding all the time, and it doesn't, like, I forget about it sometimes. And then we get to talking about all the 3-pounders that we caught, and it like brings it back. And I still like start having like deja vu, like, man, that happened.
It was like a dream.
Yeah. Super duper dream.
Let's see what's going on, Chris. Man, we're going to try to drop some knowledge. We don't have a whole lot, but we're going to try. Stephen Lewis, what's going on? Kaufman, I know. Darbone. Darbone will give you the buckshot if you're not careful. Amen to that.
What's up, Kaufman?
Chad Turner,
what you doing there, old Sean?
Buddy Harvey, yep, can't laugh at 42 pounds. I agree, even though we do all the time. What's going on, Keith Young? Thank you guys for getting on. Feel free to comment any questions as we go through this. Anything you guys want to know, we're an open book. We don't try to hide anything. So let us know what we can help you guys with. So we go from Grenada. The next month was Lake Washington.
Ooh-wee.
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 Tough, tough
for years I've heard that was better than Grenada, honestly, on big fish. Not maybe the numbers, but I heard that, that's where you want to go catch your 360, 370, 380 fish, possibly a 4-pounder. And are you waving in over here? Come on in.
Somebody coming in the side door over here.
Anyways, Washington, it was still an all right fishery, but I think we hit it really, after even the post spawn. I think them fish were buried in the mud. They went back out to the main lake. There was probably big fish out there that was just down in the dumps after the spawn and just didn't move.
We had a hard time finding bigger fish. There was a ton of eater fish to be caught.
Yeah.
We had a real poor day one. I think there was only about 40 teams of that tournament. We were sitting middle of the pack at 18th after day one. Made an adjustment on day two. On day one, we were fishing in those cypress trees in that shallow water, trying to find those last remaining, spawning fish or post-spawn fish. And that was the mistake we made day one. Day two, we ended up fishing the main lake and picking fish off the bottom, like Dylan said, and ended up making a pretty good move on day two and finished 11th, one place out of the hardware.
Got that 11th spot, notorious.
Locked down. We own 11th place.
That's right.
So it was, but still, 11th place, a good finish. I'll take it in a national tournament for sure. Les Stan Stifer, what's going on, buddy?
Les.
Living Missouri's outdoors. Help me get rid of the ghost tree, please. Man, the ghost tree.
Good luck.
We'll just address it and put it out there. We deal with the ghost tree. Everybody does. It's there are some settings you can do to help minimize it, but in doing that, it creates a small blind spot. So we choose to have the ghost tree on the screen and just have learned how to fish through it.
Yeah. We fished in my boat with a pinched cable for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I got a ghost tree, ghost log, and 3 blind spots that we fished with, and I just adapted to it because I guide every day, and I really just didn't have the time to be messing with trying to put a new transducer on, all the jazz, and I just got used to fishing like that and had to catch the fish in certain windows. My 10 to 12 foot window was a really good place to catch them, and then I had 13 through 14 foot was a blind spot. And then if I turned my trolling motor to the left, the ghost log would come up 5 foot right where the fish was, and you just couldn't see it at all. So I had to position. It really made me have the best boat control ever, because I would have to position my boat to get out of that skyscraper that would come up the ghost log. And we got rid of that. We got rid of it.
Yeah, we finally changed out, put a whole new system in Dylan's boat. It was almost 3 years old. I mean, he got it early on when it first came out. So we finally just put a new system in before we went down to the national championship and the Red River shootout. Chad Turner says, one thing I've learned from y'all is that it's not all business. Y'all have fun even in tournaments, even on tournament day. We try to keep it loose out there. You guys, a lot of you guys have seen us out there, seen our videos, clowning around, dancing, doing what we do. Corey, thanks for getting on, man. I understand you got to get back to work.
What's up, Corey? I'm going to holler at you here in a little bit, Corey. We need to talk anyways. What's up, Smart? Justin Smart.
Smart's on here. I'm going to have Justin Smart. For you guys that don't know, he and his partner Wesley Miller, Big Sasquatch Outdoors, got second down at the Red River, behind Jeff Larch and Jared Falk. So congrats to those guys, and a big shout out to those guys, man. We owe them.
Yeah.
They put us up down there. We stayed at Wesley's house, and Justin was over there most evenings, and they cooked for us and put us up.
I shot turtles off his deck. I mean, I was right in my place.
No, it was awesome. He lives right there on a bayou. I don't remember the name of that creek or river or bayou, whatever you Louisiana boys call it.
You got the hooch. That's all I know.
That was the song of the week. But awesome dudes. I'm going to have them on this show here in the next couple of weeks, so y'all stay tuned for that. It'll be a good one. Good Louisiana boys there. Les Stan Stifer, man, I appreciate the love. Your grandbaby at the Big Fish tournament you follow. I was lucky enough to get to MC that tournament, and glad that they're still talking about it.
Justin says Dorche.
Dorche, that's what it's called.
Dorche, yeah.
Yeah, Dorche Bayou. I
Craig
would pronounce it Dorche.
Craig's checking out my background here.
Yeah, Craig,
I got two more. I got two more at the taxidermist right now at Brian Severe's at Buckskins Taxidermy. He does great work. He's got two of my heads right now, two of my biggest heads, and I haven't got them back yet. I can't wait to get them back.
He's probably over at Arkansas. Is Brian and his shop's in Arkansas? Isn't it?
He lives in Arkansas. He lives in Fort Smith, but his shop's in Stigler, Oklahoma.
Okay. Check it out, Brian Severe. I know he does good work. If Dylan takes his stuff there, I know he does good work. Dylan's promised to put me on a big deer this year. I'm gonna hold him to it.
I gotta make it happen. Yeah, I got him a couple coal bucks.
That's all I need. I think I've shot 2 deer in my life, so I need some meat in the freezer. Chris Kaufman, yes, sir. I need a Fresca. Chris Kaufman is a good buddy of ours. He fishes out there on the trails, and every time he's around, he throws me an icy cold Fresca. Got to be the only man I know that keeps Fresca on the boat. It's awesome. Chad Turner said Dorche as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm having to scroll to see this. Are you having to do the same? This is my first time on this source.
Yeah, we're caught up on the comments here. I'm on my laptop, so it's easier for me to scroll through.
Gotcha.
Don't want to miss any of you guys. That's what makes these live feeds fun for us, or interacting with all you guys that are watching, answering questions, helping you guys increase your catch rate however we can. So we'll move on here. Lake Washington, and then I went to Truman. Dylan couldn't make Truman, and I did horrible. I needed my secret weapon, my partner in crime. Truman has got I did poorly there last year as well. Awesome fishery. I mean, you can catch a ton of fish. I've just had trouble there the past couple of years finding the right fish. I think I got 42nd, something like that. There's 100 some odd boats.
I mean, that doesn't sound that bad to me if there's 100 boats.
It was tough. It was tough.
I got 40 or something at Darbon too.
Oh,
at one point.
You had issues. You had issues that day.
Randy Saunier, he was my issue.
Randy. I love Randy. Randy's a great sponsor of ours, man.
Oh yeah.
Randy takes care of us. He's got a real estate business down there in southern Oklahoma near Dylan.
Yeah, he does great for us.
Long-time client of Dylan's.
Sponsors us, helps us out any way he can. Yeah, good guy.
Jared Falk says Dylan is my idol.
Jared Falk. He's holding the. He's got the. He won the pennant.
Yep.
if I may say that. I mean, that's what I wanted to do in life. Was I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player, and now I'm fishing for white perch.
At least you're a pro at something, though.
Yeah, I guess if you want to call it that. I try my best, but I really thought I'd be on my way of on my way out, of retirement. Thought I might have been playing for the Atlanta Braves or the Texas Rangers or something like that. Maybe the San Diego Padres. Those are my three teams that I kind of was looking at, and I got the thumbs down. I wasn't good enough.
Would have made my retirement life a lot easier if you made moves. We could have a hunting lodge and a fishing cabin wherever we wanted. Now we just got to work harder for it. So fish Truman, and we had a couple month break, and it was kind of nice. Usually during the tournament season, you don't have 2 months off. But we had 2 months off between. We went back to Darbone for the national championship.
Got us again.
Got us worse this time.
Yeah, day one, sitting in the top 10, though. And then, golly, that lake will get you, man. Them guys that add that lake up to 2 days, I mean, props to you. I struggle on it.
Hats off to them. I mean, it's a tough 2-day fishery. So those guys were able to put it together 2 days. My hat's off to you. And, gosh, that was the national championship for Crappie Masters. And a father-son team, TJ and Alex Palmer, took home the win. It was awesome.
So happy they won that. I mean, them guys go to almost every tournament. They've been going to them for the last 4, maybe 5 years. I've been watching them. I actually met them at Darbone and Red Tails and Shells 2 years ago. And I remember I was on some good fish. But when I was talking to them, they said that they were on good fish. So I was like, man, I thought I might have been the only one on good fish.
Hats off to those guys.
Oh, yeah. 100.
Super proud of them, stoked for them, happy for them. The longer I'm fortunate enough to be in this industry and work in this industry and be on both sides of it, the fishing side and working, in the industry, it's tough because you see a lot of negativity amongst anglers, and it literally hurts my soul every time it happens, because if we can't be there for one another and be happy for each other's success, then what are we doing? We've got to cheer people on. We compete against them. We want to beat them, obviously, but Jeff Larch and Jared Falk won the big show at the Red River. I've known Jeff for several years now. He's an awesome guy. He's obviously a great fisherman. I could not be happier for him. Could not be happier for the guy. And Jared as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we stunk it up the national championship, finished 27th. The good thing that came from that is we were able to move up a couple spots and finish in 7th in Angler Team of the Year. So got a little hardware, got $1,000 check for that. So we didn't leave there empty-handed. So that's always good. So we'll move on to the Red River here. And Chris Coffin asked a great question that'll kind of get us started. He said, so when you guys were at the Red River, what did you guys do to break down where y'all wanted to look for fish? Dirty water, clear water, etc.
That's a great one. I mean, you're always going to want to look for dirty water catching crappie. I don't care. I'm going to always say the bigger and better fish are always going to be in muddy water, and they're easier to catch. They're just easier to catch. And I've typically always seen the better fish in muddy water. I mean, yes, there's going to be big fish in dirty and clear water, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to be harder to catch to me, because I think that they can see your bait, that it's not real. I think they get to, swim up to it, investigate longer, instead of in dirtier water, they're like, oh, there's something to eat, and they don't have time to react. They don't have time to investigate. They just eat it. But really, we just picked out some backwater that looked muddy, and the first 10 minutes that we were on the Red River, we got stuck. And we were sitting in 3 inches of water. Zeke's ankles weren't even out of the water. Like, I could see his ankle bones. And there's alligators swimming around everywhere. And he's trying to push us off. This is 10 minutes into it, and I told him, I said, this is going to be bad. I was like, this is how this is. This is going to be terrible.
It was not a good start.
So,
I was none too happy to be in alligator-infested waters with water moccasins and snakes that could swallow me whole.
Yeah. So we had about 3 holes really that we had been fishing. I remember on day 2 of practice, we went way up north towards Shreveport. And we probably fished 6 or 7 different spots, right there in almost, we were like 2 miles away from Shreveport to be in like downtown Shreveport. And I told him, I said, there's nothing up here. Let's go back. And we ended up stopping back at the ramp. And I told Zeke, I said, man, let's go try this. There's people fishing here, like, let's just go see if there's anything here. So we fished there for about 30 minutes to an hour, and there was fish there. We just didn't see a bunch of giant fish. There was good fish in there, but we had honestly found better fish south of that hole. And that's where we started day 1, was down a little further, about 7-8 miles. And trying to get this off my thing here. Hold on. Okay. Anyways, and the fish were actually still there where we went day 1. We just couldn't catch any of the, big fish. I think we had, I don't know, maybe a 150 was our big fish on day 1, and then the rest were in the 130s. I think we had 945 maybe on day 1. And at the end of the day, I wasn't feeling real confident about going back in there because we were around 20, 25 other boats. Fish were getting pounded. I could just tell that the attitude of the fish had changed from, to even swimming up to your bait to just not even acknowledging it at all. Fish had seen too many baits. So we kind of went out on a limb, and I told Zeke before, on our way to day 2, I was like, man, let's fish that hole right there by the ramp. Let's not even get on plane today. I said, there's fish there. Let's just check it out. And that's what happened. We ended up staying there the last 2 days and found fish on the bottom, 160s to 180s on the bottom. They were just crawling on the bottom in 6 to 8 foot of water. We even caught fish in 4 foot of water over there.
So we were in 26th after day 1 with 945. And on day 2, we made that move. Dylan talked about fish a different area, caught 1026 that day, and moved up 15 spots to 11th. Like you said, we're the kings of 11th place. We kind of figured that's where we'd finish, but had a really good day 3, and weighed in at 1094, I believe. I know there were some scale issues that day, so I think that's about what we had, and ended up in 7th place. So it was a good tournament, man. We had a lot of fun down there. It's tough because they were back to back. Those 2 tournaments were back to back, the national championship and the Red River shootout. And anytime you're 2 weeks on the road, you start getting stressed out. You're getting tired because you've been fishing hard every day. When we got down to the Red River, it was like we had this new just boost of energy, brand new water we'd never been on, and we got super excited. Right? You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I remember it because we were on Darbone, and I was like, I got bugs flying in my mouth.
Mosquito Haven. Remember that Snapchat that Bo and Jerry sent us? Just mosquitoes everywhere.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So it was fun. We were on the Red River, and I remember I looked over at Dylan. I said, "Dude, I'm having fun again. This is awesome." And then not 3 minutes later, he sticks the boat, just stuck. And then I had to get out, so I wasn't having fun anymore.
He said, "You ain't moving."
Let's see. Yeah, Colby Barnett, what's going on, dude? Yep, January 8th, New Year's Bash tournament on Eufaula.
I was wondering if you were going to do that, Barney. If y'all are around the area, come fish Eufaula. That's my home lake. And there's a New Year's Bash. Keaton and Les Stancypher won that last year. Me and my partner, Howard Zoomer, we got third place next to Brian Young. And I think Brian was fishing with Craig Crystal maybe during that tournament. And they got second. Freezing cold. It was freezing cold that morning. I remember Howard's got a big old handlebar mustache, and his mustache was frozen solid by the time we got down to where we went. But, yeah, if y'all are around Lake Eufaula, January the 8th, come fish the Eufaula New Year's Bash.
We've got a good question here from Ron Anders. I think it came in through YouTube. He says, have you guys been fishing with the Huckabee Trident? Why a 3-piece versus the 2-piece Phantom? Can't find any info on the new Trident. Have you used that rod yet, Dylan?
I have. I've used the Trident. So the reason why behind that is the Trident. It's the first piece is really, really stiff. And having a 2-piece, it was making it too stiff. I mean, you're going to be able to, jack a 3-pounder with it and boat flip it. But there was too much pressure in there. And there was the pressure point was breaking sometimes with just the 2-piece. And that 3-piece made it to where it's a little bit more limber. Still got plenty of back. I mean, any rod you buy from, the Todd Huckabee rods, the Kim Robertson, any rod you buy is going to boat flip. I mean, I boat flip 2.5-pounders with a 6-shooter. I do. I'm not a net guy, but I had to use it at Grenada because there was just so many of them, and the fish were coming unbuttoned so easy. We had to start using the net. I always boat flip. Boat flip, boat flip, boat flip.
Matt England, shout out.
Yeah, we got that from you, Matt. Boat flip. But that Trident, that's the reason it went to a 3-piece, was to have a little bit more limberness. Still got solid backbone, but it's, not going to break on you now. A lot less pressure.
It almost springboards the fish out of the water. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, you get them coming, and it flips them right up into your chest area, and love that rod. I mean, we use the whole lineup, obviously. He just came out with a new rod, the K rod. It's a 16-footer.
16-footer.
Carbon fiber, so, it's still got a lot of backbone, but they had to go carbon fiber to lighten it up. These rods that have this kind of backbone are heavier rods. So I haven't had a chance to use it yet. I know that's what Jeff Larch fished with at the Red River to, kick all of our butts. And
I think he donated that rod or something like that at Darbone.
We gave it to him.
Gave it to him.
We gave it to him. I had 2 of them that Ken sent me down with, and
there were prototypes.
Yeah, those were prototypes.
Yeah, Larch and Jared won the tournament with prototype rods.
Yep.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
I never should have given him that rod.
I know, right? Get on up out of here now.
Brad Mabry. Oh, yeah, Jared Falk. Yeah, we saw you guys 10 minutes in on the Red River hitting the bank.
Yeah, I seen that.
Remember that?
Larch boy. One of the two had had a bellyache, I think.
Oh, that was old Larch. Definitely had a
Hey,
bellyache.
I get them belly aches too.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna
I
tell
wasn't
this.
about to get the. I wasn't about to get off the boat at the Red River and go to the bank.
Dude. I would do that by a gator.
No.
We were at Grenada, and I got this screaming belly aches, and he's got to take over on the trolling motor, and I'm dropping my drawers and God in front of God and everyone, and he's just turning the boat for the whole place to see. I
You gotta
mean,
have fun out there.
it was terrible. Yeah. I know everybody's got them aches on the water. They don't go away either.
It happens. Nothing you can do. We had to drop off our boat marshal on day 3
Yeah.
at the Red River. We had a marshal in the boat. About 2 hours in, he got real quiet. And then he says, "Man, I hate to say this, but can you boys run me back to the dock?" So we had to go drop him off. What's going on, Reggie Donner? Man, I love Reggie, dude.
Reg on here?
Yeah. You talking about somebody that supports everybody in this industry? Reggie is one of the most supportive guys out there, man. I've been fishing with him a couple times and enjoy it every time. Good question here from Brad at Mabry.
Mabry, I'm about to answer that right there. Can you see them on the bottom with live scope? So, Brad, yes, you can. It's hard to size them up on the bottom. If you've got a straight shot, if you got that transducer straight on them and they are either looking away from you or straight towards you and you don't have that side shot, that pod plate of them, but you're only going to be able to see like half of the fish because they're on the bottom. So that's how I size them up, is their length when they're on the bottom. Because most of the time when they're riding their bellies on the bottom, I can't see the whole size of the fish. So during a tournament, the best I can tell you to do is, if you don't know the size, try to catch the fish. You'll be surprised all the time. I mean, I try to catch every one of them during a tournament because I don't know their size, especially whenever they're looking away from you or right at you. Because you just don't know. And 9 times out of 10, when a fish is by themselves on the bottom, you're going to get bit. Because, lone fish seem to bite.
What was the presentation when we were catching those bottom fish at the Red River? How were you having to do it?
So I was using a 13-footer and I'd pitch it out there and, let it come right down. Like, let's say that this is the fish. My bait's coming. It's just gliding. And as soon as it gets to him, I start raising it up. And, sometimes the fish would react and see it. And usually whenever the fish is, you're coming and you think the fish is reacting, start raising it up and that fish will come hit it just like that. But if not, what happens is you'll be coming down and you start raising it up kind of prematurely and the fish never moves. So I'll take it up, flip it back out there, and I'll do it over and over and over again until I get the fish's attention.
And once you start seeing a flash, that means you've got their attention. Their gills flaring, the tail's wagging a little.
Yes.
They've woken up and they're aware that your bait is in their area. And then just hold it dead still. They just wanted it dead sticked. I mean, don't move it and wait them out, which is not
right. But sometimes the only way to get their attention was to have a little bit more movement. And then once they reacted, then you just set it there. And sometimes they would bite. I mean, some fish would come up to it just like this. I mean, and just not even open their mouth, just bump it and make you think you got a bite. And I'm setting the heck out of that hook, and there's nothing there. They're just coming up and hitting it.
It's frustrating. Something else we did different this year, and this was not only at the Red River Shootout because it's against the rules there, but we didn't make a big deal about this all year, but it's something we wanted to do as a team. that we think is important to growing the sport, and especially our bait manufacturers. We didn't buy a minnow all year long. We use artificial baits every tournament, practice, tournament days, everything. And we knew we were putting ourselves a little bit of a disadvantage by doing that in tournaments where minnows were allowed. I really think that we've got to transition at the national level, these national trails, Crappie Masters, ACT, Crappie USA. I don't fish any Crappie USA tournaments or haven't yet, but we probably will here in the next couple of years. Would really like to see all these trails go artificial only.
Yeah, 100%. How many of you guys would like to see that? I'm just tired of it being in my head while I'm out there fishing. Like, I know we're not using it, and it is legal, but I'm just tired of having it in my head embedded. Like, if I would have had a minnow with that fish and bit, and it's usually typically a big fish, and I'm constantly thinking about other anglers out there that are using minnows, like, they're probably whacking them. We should have bought minnows. We should have done it, but I don't want to. I want to just use art. It helps every bait company out there. These guys that are trying to, make plastics, all these hand tie guys. It's just going to help them out, and we need everybody to be on the same page. And, bait stores are selling bait to guides, to the public. They're still making their money. So it's not like if we don't buy shiners that they're going to go out of business. Tournament only. So them guys are still going to make money off minnows, shiners, whatever you want to call them. They call them, I got some kin folks down in New Iberia, Louisiana, they talk just like that. They're like, hey, we got them shiners down here, boy. How much shiners cost a half a pound up here? They got them shiners down here, boy. They coming really high, huh? So, anyways, we'd like to see it go artificial only. I would.
We're getting some support here in the comments. Let's Dan Stifer. Appreciate you. Slab Syndicate, Crappie Jigs agrees. Shout out to Chris with Slab Syndicate. He hooked us up this year. We used his baits a lot. We also used, he does hand ties. We use Ruben Flores hand ties as well. And then Redneck Rubber was our bigger bait of choice. So shout out to those guys for keeping us with baits on the boat. Corey Carter agrees. Living Missouri's outdoors. Let's talk to you real quick. Basically talking about live scope settings, and he was a marshal at Pickwick with Patrick Walters, which I'm assuming is a bass angler. It's probably hugely popular. I should know who he is. Is there a more powerful scope head not on the market yet? I'm confused. No, there is not a more powerful. There's no pros that are running anything newer than what any of you guys are running in the bass or crappie world. There is, this same live scope that's been out for almost 3 years is the same live scope that's out. Now, the head unit can make a difference. And I won't go into all the difference in the head units. I don't want to bore you guys. We've got a lot of videos on our YouTube channel and Facebook page talking about differences in the units and what you're going to gain by buying a higher end unit. So check out those videos. If you got questions, you can give us a call at the shop and we can talk through that. Josh Starkey.
Bass Tank, this is Zeke.
Yeah, you hear the phone ringing? I think it's a fax. Somehow we have an old school fax machine. Let's see. Yes, Reggie Donner. Dylan is the man at catching fish and finding fish on the bottom. But Dylan and I both got our butts kicked in the same area by Jeff Larch and Jared Fouch. So
you're definitely I appreciate that, Reggie. But
yeah. I got to keep his head in check, Reggie. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Am I the only one on here still?
All right, we're back.
You back?
Yep, we're back. Josh Starkey, man, falling out of the boat happens. Hasn't used shiners in 2 years. Awesome. Jason
Mikey
Dudley.
Verner. Jamarcus hasn't fished with, never bought a minnow in a tournament. Jamarcus.
So Jason Dudley brought up an important point here on the artificial bait and minnow topic. He said there's not one national sponsor that's a minnow farmer or minnow farm, right, sponsoring national trails. And he's right, except for one thing. There is a booth every year, and they're not a national sponsor, but they get a booth every year, a minnow farm at the Wally Marshall tournament, which I find very interesting. That just shows you that having these tournaments go artificial only is not going to hurt the minnow farmers, the bait shops. It's only going to help grow the sport. So, Jason, great point. Garmin Striker for live scope compatible. Bob Atkins, Bayou Bob, what's up, dude? No.
What's up, Bob?
The Striker is not compatible with live scope. You got to be in that Echo Map series of units and up. Chris Kaufman, yes, sir. Planning on fishing.
What colors do y'all like to use in clear water?
Definitely planning on fishing the circuit next year. We haven't sat down together yet and nailed down exactly what tournaments we're going to fish, but I think we're gonna spread them out a little bit. We hope to get in the ACT world next year some as well as the Crappie Masters.
Yeah.
Here's a
Donnie
question.
Stanhope, what colors do y'all like to use in clear water? So clear water, I like to use clear baits. I like to use a minnow colored jig and anything chartreuse. Maybe a chartreuse tail. I don't typically use, my muddy water baits are like white and chartreuse, orange and chartreuse, black and chartreuse. Anything that's kind of like on the darker side, except for the white and chartreuse. That's kind of a light bait, but it just seems to really hit that muddy water color. Anything that's like a minnow colored, I like to use blue a lot in clear water. Especially baby blue. I love baby blue in clear water.
My jig of choice, if I could fish one jig for the rest of my life, that was all I had. It'd be a hand tie, and it would be bright silver body. I think that flash helps get their attention. Chartreuse tail and pink head, and I'm good.
You nailed it right there. That's right.
It. Give me that one jig. I think I can go catch fish on it. Muddy water, clear water, and any time of year. Bayou Bob, I agree with you that bait profile is more important than color. I 100% agree with you. I think that sometimes what the color does is it helps get the fish's attention, and sometimes you need that brighter color or that flash, that shine to get their attention.
Bayou Bob gave us a couple of baits while we were there. He's a stand-up guy. If y'all need to go get some, if y'all are from the Louisiana area in between West Monroe, Shreveport, southern Arkansas, hit up Bayou Bob. I seen him on TikTok this morning. He was making some hand ties, had some sort of music going on there. I don't know what it was. But y'all holler at Bayou Bob.
He brought a cooler full of drinks at the weigh-in at Darbone.
Oh, yeah. I was so thirsty.
Yeah. Saved our life. We don't go out prepared with a bunch of water and frescas, ice cold frescas like some of you guys do. So shout out to Bayou Bob for hooking us all up with some cold drinks on a hot day. Dylan, what size screen? Oscar Long, what size screen you guys using on your live scope?
12-incher. 12-22 is touch. What I've had on my boat for 12-22 touch for about 2 years.
I would love to get into the 16-inch game. and run that 16-inch unit. I think it helps for sure. See more detail, makes sizing up fish. The bigger screen you get, just the easier it makes everything. We are making a change to Dylan's boat for next year for sure. We're recently been added to the Beat Down Outdoors Pro staff. And I just talked to Blake over there last night, and he is sending us out a setup for Dylan's boat. We're going to put a Beat Down Ultimate mount on there.
Blake at Beat Down Outdoors. I mean, how freaking sweet are them mounts?
They are.
They're freaking
incredible.
Bad.
To the bone.
The rest. Yeah, they're bad to the bone.
So that I know we're making that change, and we'll see if we can talk somebody out of a 16-inch unit at some point to use for live scope.
The bastard.
Yes, Reggie, I agree. Jeff will be responsible for selling thousands of new live scope setups with perspective. No doubt about it. When do you use the Stinger
perspective down?
When do you use the Stinger style straight tail over the curly tail or paddle tail?
What?
In a plastic bait. So you got the Stinger straight tails. I can answer this one. It's.
You're talking about the old.
We use beaver bottoms primarily.
Yeah.
Right.
And
but
plastics.
if we're casting, we need something with a paddle tail or a twisty tail to create that vibration and to get that fish's attention. So typically, if we're vertical, we're using either a paddle or a stinger tail. If we're casting, we're using a curly tail or a paddle tail.
Yeah.
Are the 1222s high in price? The 1222 is the least expensive way to get into a 12-inch unit for live scope. They're $1,900. That is going to be the least expensive way to get into a 12-inch unit that runs live scope. That's all it does. That's why it's the least expensive. It has no sonar capabilities. So it's just made to run live scope. Make sure I got everybody here. So other than the 12-inch live scope on Dylan's boat, we're running two 12-inch Lowrance carbons. So I'm super excited for next year, man. I mean, with that new mount on there, it's going to change the game for us. Right now, his mounts on the bow are real low. So we're constantly hunched over looking at the screen.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to raise that thing up.
Yep. I'm ready to get that beat down. No, can't wait, honestly.
We'll get it going. I already got it at the shop. We just got to get you up here so my man Darren can get it thrown on for you. Well, guys, it's been about an hour here. Comments are slowing down, so we're going to wrap this up. Dylan, my main man, thank you for coming on. Thanks for hanging with us. We had some tech difficulties there. We were on the beaver bottom tail horizontal, because when you're jigging it a little bit, it's flapping in the water and making vibration, getting the fish's attention. John Stokes just asked that.
I would agree. Yeah, I would say at Grenada, most of the 3-pound fish that I pitched on my bait was horizontal, going down to them.
That's primarily how I run it. Now, sometimes we'll notch the tail. We'll cut a V-shaped notch into it. I know you've seen a lot of people doing that.
That's how the Yum tail was, the first beaver tail out there was, Yum had it, and it was already initially cut out for it.
Yeah. Versatile baits. I mean, very versatile baits. If you guys don't have any in your arsenal, I recommend picking some up. But guys, big thanks to my tournament partner, Dylan, for getting on here with me. Thank you guys for sticking with us. We were going to iron some kinks out and try to get this show, get the production level up here. I got my man Shannon Young behind the scenes that takes care of us on that end. And he's the one that edits all these videos for us and puts all this stuff together. So big thanks to him.
Y'all be on the lookout. There's going to be more guys on here in the next couple of months. Great crappie fishermen. Crappie fishermen.
Next week, next Thursday, 2:00. I'm trying to get I've got Wesley Miller and Justin Smart committed for 2 weeks from now. Next week, I'm trying to get Richard and Ashley Falk on here, right? Male, female team of the year, finish the season with a mountain of hardware. So that's what I'm hoping to get on here next week. We're going to try to do this every Thursday at 2:00 and, be consistent with it. So I'm very fortunate that I've got a lot of friends out there that are willing to do this stuff with me. And we're just going to try to have fun with it and answer you guys' questions. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Brad Block, what's going on, buddy?
Muscle man.
Agreed. I know. He's gigantic. Big Sasquatch. So anyway, guys, thanks for jumping on. We're gonna cut this, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Join us.